Should you take an independent study and mentorship class at your high school? So my name is Nikhil, welcome to Master HS, and I'm almost a semester way through my first year in our school's independent study and mentorship program. I've talked to a lot of upperclassmen and seniors that have been through the program for a full 2 years, and I've gotten a wide scope into what this program really has to offer, and I'm gonna share that with you guys today. Okay, so what even is an independent study and mentorship program? So the name of this class, first of all, is going to vary from school to school. Like, we call this class ISM for short. But generally speaking, it's an independent study class where you essentially get to pick a topic to delve into, whether it's medicine, finance, healthcare, anything, whatever it is, as long as it's obviously appropriate for school. You get to delve into that topic, study it, and kind of do almost whatever you want to really in that field of academia, whether it's publishing your own research paper, creating a mock financial campaign, coding your own app, starting a business. And so you just get a kind of set of year of time to do whatever you want in that field. And a lot of times these classes have you pair up with a mentor who is an industry professional. So if you want to go into healthcare, you might partner with a psychiatrist who's been in the field for 20 years, gain mentorship from them, gain valuable experience, maybe shadow them in their day-to-day activities and things like that. So in general, my answer is yes. I think that really anyone should be taking an independent study and mentorship class in high school. I think it's a very invaluable experience that you're not going to get many other places. Now, there are about 3 things I want you guys to be wary of before you make that decision. There are 3 kinds of people that I think shouldn't be taking this class. The first type of person is if you're someone that procrastinates homework a lot and just cannot work in an independent work environment. You know, most of these classes at most of the high schools in the US that offer this program are very independent based. There's not much teacher instruction, so you get whatever you put into the class. And so if you're gonna sit there using that time to study another class, you're just not gonna get enough stuff out of it. And so I wouldn't recommend it for those kinds of people. Now, the second type of person I wouldn't recommend this course to is just dependent on your district. And if your district offers a much more specific class than ISM does for that specific field you want to go into. So think about this for a second. My district offers many practicum classes, so you get to actually get hands-on work field experience, and a lot of them are in healthcare. So there's a program where you get to shadow a doctor who's doing surgery and things like that. And so you might be better fit joining that program versus doing ISM. Now, if you're trying to do something, I don't know, like video game design, which is super niche, and maybe your school doesn't offer a specific video game design practicum class, then it could be a good idea for you to take ISM instead. So the third type of person I wouldn't recommend taking ISM to is just someone who has a packed schedule. So if either you're taking 7 or 8 AP classes, you're probably not gonna have the time to manage this. And again, like I said, you're probably gonna end up using your ISM period to study for those classes. It's just not gonna be good for you. Or if you're the type of person who is already taking, football, which is like 2 periods out of your 8 periods, let's say, and then you're already taking band or something else, colleges really like to see that you're still taking enough core classes. So if you're already taking a lot of those kind of extracurricular based classes, I'd recommend that you still take a lot more AP advanced classes, especially if you're aiming to go to a better college. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, I'm gonna give you guys pretty much 4 main reasons why I think ISM is a worthwhile program to pretty much 90% of the people in high school. So the first reason I think you guys should be taking the ISM program is just the invaluable experience you're gonna gain. Now, I know this sounds super cliche, but trust me, it could not be more true. When I tell you the amount of experience I've gained in the field I'm interested in is absolutely absurd. In a good way, it is. I mean, we do research assessments on the field every single week. So not only are you getting that academia level experience where you would have to do that in college, you're getting that step up on people because that's something you're doing in college, like I said. You're also getting real world experience by shadowing industry professionals and learning the day-to-day ins and outs of the job you want to get when you grow up. And guess what? In college, if you hadn't taken an ISM and you end up changing majors, there's the potential risk of having to take an extra year of courses in college to catch up. And that can cost your parents or yourself a lot of money. And so there's just so much invaluable experience you're gonna gain. You will get a leg up on the competition. Now, the second reason I recommend ISM to students is the resume building opportunity. So not only do you typically actually spend some time building a LinkedIn, a resume, a personal portfolio online and in person in a binder, but the amount of things you do in this class gives you so much to add to your resume. For example, a lot of peers I know in my ISM class are publishing research papers on their field. Again, this is something that typically college students do, but if you are aiming for those Ivy League T20 schools, having research is almost a must at this point. Whatever field it is, whether it's medicine, finance, health, whatever it is, right? You have to be doing research in your field to just understand more about the topic and potentially introduce something new. Now, on top of that, you have to understand that a lot of these people are getting full-on internships as well. Whenever they're shadowing their employees, they're considering this an internship, or they're applying to an internship or whatever. And so that's also something that can be added to your resume. And just also think about the fact that if you're working with someone from a high-level career, think about, the Western Region Vice President of JP Morgan or some big bank or something like that. Just being able to say you worked with such a high-level professional at an in-depth level, meaning you were shadowing them every week, learning from them every week, is something that can really, really tremendously add to your resume. Not to mention that so many people do things called original works, where they're getting the opportunity to create something new in the class. Like I said, a video game design, you can publish that app. And I've seen so many people publish an app and then they get hundreds of thousands of downloads in the next 4 or 5 years. Granted, that's the very good side of the spectrum, but even if you're only getting 10, 20 downloads, it's still a great feat to make as a high schooler. Now, the third reason is the network you're gonna build. So typically across the US, when they decide who gets to be in the ISM program, it's not just like signing up for a regular course where everyone gets to take it. There's typically a selection process. At our school, we had an application process and a thorough interview to do. What that means is this class is very filtered, right? When you get into this class, you're surrounded by so many like-minded people who want to very much succeed in their life, who very much want to get that corporate experience, who very much want to succeed in their academia, right? And so it really gets you into that mindset of, okay, I'm with all these students who are great, let me even propel myself further. And it's this very collaborative environment where you can get an idea from your peer and you can give them an idea because you guys are all so hyper successful, right? And not only that, but the corporate level people that you get to meet is absolutely crazy. Again, in a good way, of course. Like, I've met people from investment banks and other places like that because I want to go into economics or finance, and that's just been such a tremendous experience. And again, being around like-minded people your age, well, if someone else gets, meet someone else from a bank and they don't want to use that person as a mentor, well, guess what? I get to take advantage of that as well. And I get to know all these people that in 3-4 years when I'm in college and I need an internship to fall back on, I always have someone to contact. And so it's not just about getting that personal connection for this year, but it's really something that can last a lifetime potentially. Now, the fourth reason, while I know it might be minimal for a lot of people, but it could also be a great benefactor for a lot of people, it's just the fact that the grading is super easy in these types of classes because it's independent study. And the teacher who has a degree in teaching may not know stuff about the medical field or the stuff about the finance field because she can't know 20 different fields at the same time when everyone's studying something different. She or he tends to give pretty easy grades. They tend to be completion sort of grades, and so everyone really ends up with a 98, 99, 100 in the class. At our school, it's weighted as the same as an honors class because it's so intense in terms of the amount of workload. And so it could be a benefactor to your GPA, and if not, it is still an easy 100 for the most part. And so I know a lot of you guys that are hyper-focused on GPA and things like that, this could be a great reason to take this course. Alright y'all, I appreciate y'all sticking around till the end of this video. I hope this helped a lot, and I hope that you guys will take the ISM class next year or in the next few years as a high schooler. Be sure to drop a like and hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one.